Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking something that honestly just defies traditional logic. We're looking at a trajectory that went from literally absolute obscurity to complete global dominance in just over a decade. So let's dive right in and analyze the anatomy of this massive paradigm shift.
Our guiding framework today is this incredible trajectory you see right here, from an unknown idea to a trillion-dollar revolution. Now, it's really important to get that this isn't just about some financial asset. It maps out an unprecedented global transformation. Let's explore how revolutionary changes like this actually take hold in the real world.
Section 1. The unknown idea. The genesis of isolation.
Think about what an unknown idea actually is. It exists in total obscurity, right? Absolutely zero validation, zero market value. When Satoshi Nakamoto first dropped that Bitcoin white paper into a super niche cryptography mailing list, it was exactly that. I mean, every massive global shift starts quietly like this, as an isolated, completely unproven concept that challenges our very perception of what value even is. And the chasm between a weightless, invisible thought on one side and a trillion-dollar reality on the other, well, that's exactly what we are studying today. How in the world does a digital token, backed by absolutely no central bank, literally running on experimental code, how does it cross that massive void to acquire undeniable, concrete economic weight?
Moving into Section 2, the meteoric rise, bridging the impossible gap.
To get from that invisible beginning all the way to a trillion-dollar scale, the rise itself actually acts as the engine. It represents the velocity, the trajectory, the active momentum required to cross the gap from what was just a cypherpunk experiment into a full-blown global economic force.
Because, let's be clear, this wasn't passive growth. No, it was a relentless push. Breaking out of obscurity meant defying insane odds, surviving early exchange collapses, and navigating some really intense regulatory scrutiny. It hit this compounding tipping point where adoption fed into price, and then price fed right back into adoption. And eventually, it just forced the established financial system to stop laughing and actually start paying attention.
Which brings us to Section 3, the trillion-dollar revolution, the macroeconomic scale.
$1 trillion. I mean, just look at those zeros. That is a scale of wealth that completely reshapes economies. It literally represents the economic output of entire nations. For an idea that was born with zero physical presence, literally just lines of code distributed across a network, to accrue this specific market cap, that is a true, undeniable historical anomaly.
But notice, we don't just call this a highly valued asset, right? It's classified as a revolution. And that distinction is absolutely crucial. Revolution implies a fundamental shift in our reality. We're talking about altering human behavior, questioning the very nature of fiat currency, and redesigning financial operations from the absolute ground up.
This juxtaposition right here really hits the nail on the head as to why this matters to us. A mere financial asset? Well, that's just a line item in a portfolio. It's something you trade and forget about. A global revolution, though, that signifies a complete overturning of the status quo. It means the rules of the game have been permanently, fundamentally rewritten. When you look at the ultimate trajectory, the most massive world-altering revolutions rarely announce themselves with trumpets. They incubate in the quiet corners of the unknown. The blueprint we've analyzed today, going from absolute obscurity to a paradigm-shifting reality, that is literally the anatomy of how the future is built.
Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating proposition to end on. If an unknown idea can become a trillion-dollar revolution, what is the next unknown idea? Like, what invisible concepts surround us right now, just quietly waiting for their own meteoric rise? Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and hey, thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.